What is up, Earthnoids and Spacenoids? I am just a simple new type, and in this episode, we are finally returning to the world of Moon as we continue our coverage of Moon Gundam. Last time we learned of Renault's past, or should I say Raymel. Nilda Licht did the good old switcheroo on her two children when they were younger, which is why she always despised Renault. Nilda also tripped and impaled herself on a tree. I hate it when that happens. This time we switch back to Antarctica, where Neo Zeon preps for an attack. Jutta is still struggling to figure out who he is, and Ubaldo, the man who despised new types, might in fact be one. So let's get into this. Jutta is going through training as Nanai gives him full control over the Dodai Kai. He seems to be daydreaming. Gune is mad that Jutta is joining their team. He thinks that the kid will just run away when he gets the chance. Commander Yahim doesn't think so because of his demeanor. Something in him has flipped. Stupid Gune jumps the gun and rushes Jutta. He is trying to get him to surf on the psychoplates like he did previously. Gune knocks him off the Dodai. The subflight system automatically tries to catch up with Moon Gundam. Jutta is reminded of Char telling him that he is not a real new type, and that he needs to be controlled so his cyber new type powers doesn't consume him. Moon Gundam falls towards Earth, but Gune rushes in and saves him. It was a close call, so that stop made Jutta take a lot of G's to the face. Look at those eyes. They're almost popping out of his head. Jutta passes out. They return to base where Gune punches him. He tells him that this isn't a game and that he should have deployed his psychoplates. Minerva comes in and insults the squad, claiming that a new type group should be able to communicate with one another better than some crude soldier's code of conduct. She tells Jutta that he doesn't have to do this. He recognizes that Neo Zeon needs to manage him now that he isn't on Moon. Minerva tells him that the drugs don't matter. This scene comes off like a drug addict looking for a fix. Jutta is more upset that he isn't the person he thought his grandfather was. But Jutta is in fact a true new type, or at least a cyber new type in its truest sense, meaning he is artificially turned into a new type, however not through drugs, but rather artificial selection. Over years of evolution, one can alter old types into new types. Char wants Jutta to be a new type that is capable of detecting real-world crises. Meanwhile, Amado is looking out at Antarctica. The Rogale's crew doesn't believe that Char could be hiding out on Earth. This whole time, they have been searching for him in space, and they have been hiding right in front of them on the planet this whole time. Ubaldo says that the Federation knew of Char and Neo Zeon in Antarctica. This means that the Federation is setting up the Rogale's crew. They are looking at them to break whatever Cold War they have with one another. Amado runs through the drop operation with Londo Bell. Murray wonders why they just don't squeeze the Zeon sympathizers for more intel before going in blind. Ubaldo tells him that the rich politicians on Earth are cowards and will never take action. He also says something that you probably assumed, but was never stated. Ubaldo says that Zeon is fundamentally Spacenoid and still has influence in the colonies. The Federation doesn't bother with Zeon remnants anymore because Zeon keeps Spacenoids in line. The Federation at scale can't fundamentally control Spacenoids, so they use Zeon as a proxy. Their goal is to only find Minerva, but there will be ground forces going to handle Neo Zeon. They are concerned for Jutta and Saphira, but with a Black Ops mission like this, they aren't given all the intel on purpose. It happens to be a Garuda that is handling the drop for the ground team. They wonder who this team consists of. The Garuda in question happens to be Luo & Co.'s ship. They are establishing communication with the team underwater. Brick Teclato is observing them. Zajin of the Red Pole team, who has been teased in the past as Luo & Co.'s PMC, is talking to Wooman Luo. He is leaving him in charge with attempting to capture Minerva, as she is now a source of intel in regards to Moon. Wooman has tasked Zajin and various other close compatriots to accomplish his bidding. That is because, after today, he is going into hibernation. He is setting himself up to be a frozen popsicle like we see in Gundam narrative. After the call, Zajin says that even gods that build empires can escape illness. He meets with Michelle and Brick. She says that she knows that he knows her past. For those who didn't see narrative, her, Jonah, and Rita were new type experiments at Augusta Labs. Michelle worked with Rita to ensure that she became a Luo & Co. heir, while Rita became a new type guinea pig. It should have been Rita who was Wooman's heir. She wonders why Zajin keeps his knowledge of her from Wooman. He seems to be hiding something. Regardless, she asks him of a favor. Amado talks to Ubaldo, who shows him his Jetta cannon, or Jetta bull as he likes to call it. Murray told Amado that since he met Jutta, he has been acting differently. He seems to be marching towards death and is worried about him. However, Ubaldo can sense that he knows that Amado is here to boost his morale and cheer him up. Ubaldo has always come off as a guy who takes action and doesn't think too much. but he tells Amado that he could hear Yuta's pain, but now it's gone. He asks Amado about when he was in Cheyenne and wonders if he didn't return to space so he didn't have to connect to the new type void. This conversation suggests that Ubaldo exhibits new type potential, which is interesting because Ubaldo isn't your typical new type genius character. He comes off more like your typical grunt soldier, but he clearly possesses skills of a new type. He shows intuition, extreme empathy, and has unnatural reflexes. He probably wouldn't be with Londo Bell if that wasn't the case. This is also in an era where new types are used to create elite soldiers. The Federation acknowledges new types, but only care about new types to optimize for the more perfect soldier. The engineering and empathy aspects go to the wayside. Also, Ubaldo used to hate new types, and now he's just like, they're okay. Ubaldo leaves and says that Amado returned to space, so he respects him, as that is a hard feat. Michelle says that if they could capture the Antarctic base, she wants Zajin to copy their databases and give it to her. If he does that, he won't tell Woman that he knows of Michelle's past. For his help, she gives him a new series of mobile suits to use. This is the Hyaku Nishiki. The MSR-00102S Hyaku Nishiki is the evolution of the Hyaku Shiki Kai. During the Grips conflict, the Delta Project took two paths: a transformable mobile suit and the non-transformable mobile suit, which became the Hyakushiki. This continues the Hyakushiki line. Standard units have a silver anti-beam coating, while commander units are painted with the gold anti-beam coating. Thrusters have been improved with upgraded verniers. Weapons include Vulcans, 2 beam sabers, a beam rifle with a beam bayonet, a clay bazooka, a triple-barrel grenade launcher, and a rapid-fire missile pod built into the shield booster. Hyaku Nishiki translates to Unit 102, and like Hyakushiki, it's just called by its unit number. I wonder why they didn't translate Hyakushiki into English and just left it. It does sound cool, but it just translates to Unit 100. Not so cool sounding. Also, if you ever wanted Ippei Gyobu to design a Hyakushiki, this is it. In the brig, Saphira is wondering what is going on, as Nanai hasn't showed herself in 3 days. She then begins psychologically berating the guard outside, saying things like, "What are you doing here? You usually change shifts by now. Are you in trouble for talking to me? And telling me too much information? You seem like you got in trouble." She's just seeing right through this poor NCO and breaking him down. It works as he tells her that things are getting tighter and he might have to work a double shift. She realizes that people are about to descend on this location, but if Luo and Co are involved, the Federation is actually going to have to get off their asses and do something. They will actually do something when money is involved. She assumes they are after Minafazabi. Saphira says, time to cause a little chaos. She bites through her wrist, revealing a device hidden underneath her skin. Neo Zeon preps for an oncoming battle. In the air is the new type team. They are in the flight form of the Psycho Baowu, with Moon Gundam following suit. Jutta is refusing to acknowledge his call sign, Wilden 1. Jutta flashes back to a conversation with Char. He tells him that if the Federation captures Minerva, there is no doubt that the secrets of Moon Moon will be unleashed to the world. Their utopia would come to an end. He wants him to be a shield for Minerva. But if she is so important, why is Char keeping Minerva here? He knows he intends to lock her up to prevent EFF from getting their hands on her. He tells Jutta, what are you gonna do, run away with Minerva again? If you do, you think the Federation will treat you as anything other than a prisoner? Of course, Char is prepping for her to make a retreat. He shows him Axis and tells him that this is his main focus at the moment. He tells Jutta the truth and opens up because he knows this mission is going to be hard, mainly because the people he once fought alongside with will become his enemy. Ubaldo prepares for launch. Bernice the mechanic checks on him. He realizes he has changed and wonders if he is becoming a new type. Bernice says that she likes the new Ubaldo. Although we glossed over it, Bernice was always looking out for him, and there seemed to be always some connection between the two. It appears as though Ubaldo is going to ask Bernice out on a date, but they are interrupted by the alarms going off. The Rogils deploys its balut system and heads into Earth's atmosphere. Nanai is monitoring the drop and notes it is from Londo Bell. Commander Bodrog is with her, just being a catty little bitch for some reason. Why does this character exist? Amado and Ubaldo's team split up. Ubaldo's team's mission is to draw out their forces as a distraction to buy time for the ground team. They will then head north to get picked up by the Federation Navy. Ubaldo uses his new type senses to reach out to Jutta. This causes him to go off on his own. Gune goes to retrieve him. The Neo Zeon base goes to DEFCON 4. Ags, Rick Doms, Hygogs, RS Jarjas all prep for battle. Saphira tells the guard to get out of here because she is going to blow the door. Just hiding a little bit of plastic explosives under my skin, no big deal. She blows the door, knocking out the guard. She takes his uniform and slips out while hearing chatter of an attack coming from the air. Zajin and the Red Pole team launches in their new Hyaku Nishikis. Brick wonders if Michelle is wise to trust him. He might end up just killing Minerva. She realizes this, but what is done is done. Jutta is in shooting range of Ubaldo, but he hesitates to shoot. He hears everyone telling him that he isn't a real new type. Then he hears Ubaldo's voice and tells him not to listen to the cynical voices of adults. He doesn't shoot, but Gune gets into shooting range and doesn't hesitate. He grazes the balut system, causing Ubaldo to fall to Earth. While in freefall, Ubaldo is able to get a direct shot on Gune. Petra comes to back him up, but Jutta is still hesitating. The Jetta Bull destroys one of Gune's psychoplates. Petra chases, but Ubaldo uses his cannon's ass thrusters to get behind her. He fires and kills Petra. Gune blames her death on Jutta for hesitating. He finally stops hesitating and attacks Ubaldo. Saphira takes out a guard protecting Minerva and breaks her out of jail. Nanai is informed of Minerva's prison break, but they have to focus on getting Char and the Sazabi into space. Ubaldo calms Jutta down, but his parachute can't hold up both of them. Jutta, full of self-doubt, lets go, but Ubaldo won't let him fall to his death. He tells him to stop listening to others and to listen to his heart. This is the first time seeing the power was always inside you speech during freefall. That's neat. Jutta could feel his grandfather looking over him once again, and he is able to activate the psychoplates, and they land safely. Well, they didn't die. It still looked like a rough landing. And that will do it for this episode. Jutta lost his new type groove, but it's finally back, baby. Hopefully, we will see a Psycho Jack battle in the future. Although Ubaldo's change did come out of nowhere, it is a different approach that we haven't really seen before. Ubaldo isn't around for Char's counterattack, so his outcome is looking grim. We are all caught up once again in Moon Gundam, so it'll be about a year or so before we get a new volume. Hopefully sooner, but I won't hold my breath. But that will do it for now, new types. We all know the power was inside you the whole time. But did you know the power was in you this whole time while doing a sick freefall? Didn't think so. Peace.